Hello YouTube. If it looks a little different from my other videos, it's because I finally got my own camera and my own headset. Alright, the title is I'm serious. I'm disappointed with how every atheist or rationalist on this website has been handling the antinatalist argument. You're all being bigoted. Um, you're not addressing the actual antinatalist. And I'm not talking about the ones that talk about wiping out all life that's currently existing, or the ones that are talking about forced sterilizing. Those are two types of antinatalist, and they can go to hell. Even if they are right, I don't want them to wipe me out. Therefore, we should simply crush them, argument-wise. But the antinatalist that are actual antinatalists simply believe that the most compassionate thing to do is to not have any more babies, because if you do, you're taking away those babies. You're forcing suffering on them without their consent. Now, do I agree with this argument? No, I'm a pronatalist. But you're being exactly like the antinatalist. The antinatalists say something that's horrible and disgusting. Namely this sentence: "You're addicted to life," which is so bigoted and condescending. Um, it creates a false dichotomy between hating and being addicted. Addiction specifically refers to the inability to stop doing something. Um, yeah, you're wrong to say that. If you come on this video and you post those words, I will remove your comment because you're a coward. Basically, just like if you went on a video about race and you just said nigger, 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 you're just being a troll. And you don't know what addiction means. As for the pronatalist who should know better, you know who I'm talking about. You've made videos and you're currently making videos about the antinatalist. When you say that all antinatalists are just depressed losers, you're doing exactly the same thing. Let's say they all are depressed losers. That has no bearing on their argument whatsoever. The same as them telling us that we're addicted to life. Even if that were the case, that has nothing to do with our argument. That neither proves or disproves our argument. The most crazy person in the world can say the sky is blue. That does not mean the sky's not blue. And the most depressed person in the world could say the sky is blue. That doesn't mean you can say to him, well, you're just saying the sky is blue because blue is a sad color. No, it's because it's blue. This ultimately comes down to whether we should do harm reduction at high cost or at all cost. They're willing to sacrifice the entire human race to reduce harm. Any future generations. I'm not. I think you should do everything you can to reduce harm, but not everything possible. Not if it, that's up to the individual to decide how far they want to go. But either way, that's not what this video is about. This video is about one thing. Both of you are wrong. The arguments, and you know what? My last video talking about how the antinatalists really aren't dangerous. At worst, they convince a few people not to fuck. I got a really long and thoughtful response from one of the antinatalists, and I also got a few comments. That response, because it's like a page and it's not just a rant, he genuinely is pointing out things I said in my argument. It's rational, it's calm, and I'm going to give it its own video, its entire video, because it deserves that. I hate to be accusatory accusatory. Is that even a word? I think so. But anyway, but you all, we're supposed to be the rationalist community. The reaction to the antinatalist, I call this a debacle because you guys are losing your mind. You're not being rational at all. Um, One of my favorite YouTubers, All Babies Are Atheists. How many times did the words something to the degree of they're just depressed or these are just bitter, hateful people, how many times did that come out of your mouth? How does that affect the argument in every way? All of them are bitter and hateful people? If you actually listen to the argument, it makes sense. If there's no people, they can feel no harm. You feel more harm than you feel pleasure in life. Ergo, to reduce harm, you can to reduce harm, eliminating life will solve that problem. The problem is, what's the point at that point? Like, they believe in harm reduction at all cost. We pronatalists, like you and me, believe in harm reduction at high cost. You don't throw the baby out, literally, with the bathwater. They're not all depressed. They're not all bitter. They're not all, well, they are pessimistic, but that's, people who think life is great obviously aren't going to make this argument. And to say that they're all irrational, depressed people is fucking insulting to the community of people who are depressed. And you should know that, All Babies Are Atheists, because, again, this is not a rant against you. I'm talking to all of the pronatalists. And I'm a pronatalist, absolutely. This antinatalism thing is absurd to me. But do I think they're dangerous? No. What the worst they can do is convince people not to fuck. The moment they start talking about forced sterilizing people and wiping out people that already exist, we should not even allow their opinion to be heard. Because what if they convince people and they kill people? I'm not saying we should censor their opinion. I'm saying the assault should be continuous. Even if they're right, I'm not letting them kill me. I'm not letting them convince anyone to kill me. But the third type, the real pronatalist or antinatalist, you have a responsibility to be fair and rational to these people. Now, I haven't watched all of your videos on antinatalism because I think you've made one in between this and your last one. I'm not sure. I don't actually have time right now to go into it. But I was depressed at some point. This thought came to me, but I knew that there were happy people. Does that mean that that mitigates the pain they already felt? No. But whereas they believe that you should not have children because of that, I don't. I think it is worth it. It's a cost-benefit analysis. They believe in wiping out suffering at all cost. I believe at high cost. Certainly not at the cost of wiping out all life. But yeah, that doesn't mean we have the excuse to just dismiss their arguments because they're all depressed. So then they can dismiss our arguments because we all are addicted to life, which is effed up. That's messed up. You're just accusing us. That's not an argument. That's not an argument, and it's bigoted. You're saying none of us can control ourselves because we have an addiction like heroin. Basically, you're saying you're better because you can control yourself than we. Evidence? Do you have evidence? What if we just like life? What if it's not like heroin? What if it's like weed? And it's just something we like. I'm not addicted to life. I was suicidal for half my life. I love my family, and I knew the damage it would do to them. I'm about harm reduction too. But to accuse me of being addicted to life, there's only one reason I wasn't going to respond to this person, Free Long Pig. I am going to respond to him because he only said that once, and I don't think he'll say it again. But I'm going to give it its own video. Well, I'm running out of time, so until my next video, try to make the world a better place by being fair, and I will too. These are extra frames at the end because it rejected my video because my timestamp was exactly the same as my last one. But this does give me a chance to apologize to all babies are atheists. I didn't see... I mixed up your video with like two other pronatalist videos. While I still stand by the statement that to dismiss their arguments saying that they're just mentally ill or that they can't handle pain is unfair, just the same as them saying you're addicted to life. But your video was a little better than that, than just that. But you did say that, and that's just not good. We're supposed to be the rationalists. Some of them actually are basing it on logic. I think their conclusions are wrong and their opinions are wrong, but I can understand where they're getting to their data. They're not saying they want to wipe out everyone. They're saying we know life will be more pain than pleasure. Therefore, we shouldn't have children because they will suffer more and they can't consent to that suffering. I disagree on 2 points. I don't think... Well, I already said that, but basically, yeah. My bad. I didn't mean to single you out. So, yeah.